This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Hello, blow it. Thank you. 25 Whistles, presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with the code BobbySports, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void or prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details. What's up, boys?
Yo.
What's up, man?
My finger hurts, man.
Oh, are you?
We went to Auburn yesterday, and we were jump ball, and my hand was hit so hard, not by Eddie. And so...
Well, you don't know if it was me or
It
not.
wasn't you. It was...
Because I'm strong, too, you know?
And I remember coming down and going, oh, it hurt so bad. And then at the end, Broom, who was tossing us the ball, who's their center, basically.
Night Broom.
Yeah, he was like, did I hit somebody's hand? And I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, it might have been me. I'm like, oh, no.
You did say that.
It killed me. It killed my finger. So I'm here. I'm injured, but I'm in.
Hey, man, it's been like 24 hours. Like, you might be really hurt.
Nah, it's probably just jammed up real bad, but the whole knuckle is swollen.
How did he hit it, though?
Don't know. Didn't see it. I think I closed my eyes when I jump ball, so I don't know. I didn't see anything.
You shouldn't do that.
I know.
That's
I need to review the footage. We'll see.
Yeah, it's probably just like a ding. Those
But
guys
it still
they're
hurts.
so big. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy.
He's a monster.
So before we came on, I was reading this story about Brock Purdy, where Kyle Shanahan tried to get Tom Brady out of retirement this year to come and play
Oh,
for San Francisco, for his
Interesting.
hometown team. And they went to Purdy and they were like, hey, if he comes, you're going to have to back him up for this year. And Purdy was like, all right, I get it. He's the greatest of all time. But like, we were a game away from last year.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting that it's even out.
That just came out, huh?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan tried getting Tom Brady out of retirement to be their starter last season.
who would leak that?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm saying. I mean, I don't know, because Brock Purdy's talking about it, but I don't think Brock Purdy's the one that raised his hand and was like, I have a story to tell.
If you want to keep your job, you don't do that.
He said, I remember him saying, if we can get Tom Brady, we're going to try to get him. And I was like, yeah, he's the GOAT. I get it. But something deep down inside me was like, dude, I just showed you I can play well in this system. And we were one game away from the Super Bowl. More than anything, I was like, okay, now let's go.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting story. And Brady was just joking about he almost came out of retirement again, but I didn't know he was like serious. But I guess that must have been something that possibly could have happened in Shanahan's mind.
It's interesting that he saw Purdy as still a concern for that position. Like, I mean,
Not a concern. No, it's Tom Brady. It's not Purdy. It's not
Yeah.
about Purdy.
What do you mean?
It wouldn't matter who it was.
You wouldn't even
almost.
think about getting a new quarterback, even if it was old, rusty Tom Brady. You wouldn't even think about it unless you had question marks over your current quarterback.
There's only like 5 or 6 quarterbacks that you probably wouldn't replace for Tom Brady for 1 year.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
If that.
The A-listers, and that's
Yeah.
Then that's it. The AA-listers, that's it.
Because if I had like,
If you have Tua, I put Tom Brady in.
Yeah.
sure,
Dak.
sure. Whoa, see, that's what I'm talking about. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I would. I would.
Okay, thank
I
you.
would. But
And it's
because
like
I have question marks about Dak.
Okay, but there's question marks about everybody except for
Tom Brady.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Josh
Yeah.
Allen?
Yeah.
No, what do you mean? He's lost again.
Well,
Again.
That's the Mahomes
There are
Josh Allen.
okay, but there are question marks. There's question marks about everybody.
Lamar Jackson?
He gets injured every third game.
Mahomes is the only guy.
Except this year, he hasn't. It's just been awesome.
Wow.
But
Joe Flacco?
I would no questions. I have no questions.
No questions.
The Bills kicker deactivated his social media.
Tyler Bass.
Yeah, it
Sad.
sucks.
Yeah.
The thing is, even if he makes it, here's the thing: Diggs dropped a ball,
Sure.
Yep.
big ball.
Sure.
So let's look at. There are multiple. Yes, we remember wide right and the Norwood kick. That just
Jim Nance's call was
it
awesome.
It reminded everyone of it, so it became a story. But again, the Chiefs would have had time to execute a drive, and all they would have needed was get to field goal range.
Yeah.
But
They had-
unfortunately, us fans, like, we just remember the end. You know, like, yeah, I think every game
Oh yeah, I
has
hear
factors.
you. Absolutely.
Every game.
Yes, but we can't just blame it on him. Is my point.
And the 2 plays coming out of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
Where Josh Allen, like, there's 2 throws. The first one, it's just like, what?
But because it was like the Norwood kick wide right,
Yeah.
that's what we're remembering because that was such a cultural sports event way back in the day. Think about that. And we were so young. Eddie was like 25. But
I was married with kids.
Buffalo lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Think about that. That sucks. 4 in a row.
With a great team.
With like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith. I mean, they were awesome. And they got to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. They lost all 4 years to the Cowboys.
Cowboys were
a couple of times.
Two of them, yeah.
Yeah. So it sucks for Buffalo.
The Redskins.
We don't call them that anymore.
Well, that's what they were called
Hey,
then.
we got the R words.
But do you not say that in history?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like wondering, like, do you even say that?
No. Yeah, you can say that.
I know anything pre what was it 2020?
Right.
What do they identify as now? That's what we call them, whatever they identify as now. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's Tuesday we're recording this, so we don't need to do a whole last week. This is what happened. But sucks for the Bills. Let's go Chiefs. Got my future on the Chiefs.
Yeah, good for you.
And the Ravens still. I can cash out for the Ravens for like $2,000 right now.
Wow. And you put in how much?
I can look. Did we hit our parlay?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Let's go. We hit.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look. Let's do the tittle tattle, and then we'll talk about that. Go ahead.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with kickoff Kevin.
After losing another major player to Ohio State since Saban retired, would you be worried about the DeBoer hire if you were an Alabama fan?
I think you're worried anyway because Saban just left. It wouldn't have mattered who it is and who it was. It wouldn't have mattered. But people are forgetting that Kalen DeBoer, he brought his kid with them, the Austin Mack kid. So he transferred down. He was a top 10 quarterback in the 2023 class. So he came from Washington down to Alabama. You know, the Julian Sayin who left Alabama to go to Ohio State. There's a coaching change. I don't think as much as it's about who's coming in. I don't think the players are leaving are like, we hate this guy. I think they're like, Saban's out. I'm going to see how much money I can make somewhere else. So,
Oh, much in money, not winning
because they can win in Alabama.
with a new coach? I don't know.
Well, the new coach just went to the national championship game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a whole new team, whole new school. I don't know. It's not that replaceable where you just wear another pair of pants. It's a whole new deal.
Well, you're just saying words right now.
Now, you say deal when you really don't know what you're talking about.
Situation.
You know what I'm saying?
It is weird to see all the Alabama kids leaving because they usually don't. Not the good ones. Usually it's the second tier or injured players that go to other schools to get more playing time. But, I mean, I get it. Your coach leaves. And everybody's eligible to go if the coach leaves.
I mean, when Saban left, though, I really marked that down as like, I think the dynasty's over. It's time for Alabama to just kind of just rebuild.
And if that were the case, I think they would have hired somebody younger and a coordinator, maybe that they wanted to invest the future in, instead of going and hiring a proven coach and paying him a whole bunch of money.
He still doesn't look like a coach to me, though, man.
There's not much to him, huh?
It looks like a dude. You know what I
There
mean?
was a part, we were at Auburn yesterday, and we were talking to Coach Pearl, and me, Eddie, and Coach Pearl were sitting on the couch, basketball, and Eddie's like, I coach 10-year-olds or 11-year-olds. And he said, coaching's the same, right?
Yeah, he was saying, it's like barbecuing. Like, everyone knows how to grill.
And Eddie was like, yeah, I'm like a coach. Yeah, I'm like you.
And then he told me, he's like, you're a good coach. And I said, you're right. I am a good coach. He's like, nah, you don't know shit. He walked me right into it.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't know crap.
That was so good.
You're
It
not
was
a good
hilarious. Yeah. So that's fun. Alabama, it's an unfamiliar place to be because you've had stability with the greatest college coach of all time, but it's a pretty good backup plan. There was going to have to come eventually anyway. He can't live forever.
And Ohio State's, they're having a couple big weeks here.
I saw where they spent
13 million?
$13 million bucks or so on it. Yeah. Listen, you got it, spend it. We only hate because our team's not spending it.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have it.
All right, next question.
All right. We all know you're a big
Baker guy. Big
right?
Baker guy.
All right. You want the Bucks to sign him to an extension. If you were a fan, Bucks fan.
Who else are they going to sign? I mean, the answer is yes, because I'm a big Baker guy. And he also had career year. Like, he had better stats this year. He had 4,000 yards passing than I think he's ever had. 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He played well. I don't think he's a top 5 or 7 guy, according to most people. Me, yeah, number 1. Big Baker guy. But, yeah, I don't know who else. They could have won that game. They could have beat Detroit. They had a shot to win that game. But him and Mike Evans are free agents. What?
And then Baker threw a pick.
Well, he had to.
But he was throwing dimes before that.
No, he was. He played well.
He was just
played well.
chunking.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I mean, he threw.
Hey, relax, man.
He threw.
All right?
I would sign him. I don't know that I'd pay him $40 million, but if you're Tampa, you had a good run with them, and let's go. I'm a big Baker guy, so I say sign him up.
Like Daniel Jones money? You know, like that.
Well,
tier?
he's gonna want Daniel Jones money, and yeah,
Because you'll take him over Daniel
probably
Jones.
have to give him that kind of money.
What tier is that?
35 mil, I believe.
That's probably upper end of what he should get because there just aren't quarterbacks. That's the problem. If you get one that's pretty good, you got to pay him like he's really good. If you get one that's really good, got to pay him like he's a Hall of Famer because there just are a shortage of quarterbacks. We saw it this year with every freaking backup, and it sucked. Because you get Tommy DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Tommy.
Right.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is $40 million a year,
Yeah, I don't think you can pay him that
and
much.
looks like he's about 10th,
Oof.
right behind Dak.
And what are the Giants even going to do?
I know.
They got a bunch of...
They losing Saquon?
To the Cowboys.
Oh, man, that would be hilarious.
That would be cool.
I mean,
That'd
are
be
they
cool.
losing them? We don't know yet. Because they basically put the tag on them, but then gave them more money than the tag. Remember? Next question.
All right. After the 49ers barely won on Saturday, were you more impressed with Purdy leading the team to a game-winning drive or concerned with his play the rest of the game?
I wasn't concerned with his play. It was raining hard. It was raining
And?
hard.
And what? They don't play in the rain?
It was raining hard. The conditions were not that of a game where you're going to throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. It was a messy game. They couldn't hold on to the ball at times when they're trying to run the ball. Like pitching it. You know, he came out with a glove.
Yeah.
They took the glove off. And even as he was dropping back, he was drying his hand off. Like in the middle of dropping back, he would be drying his hand off. So the conditions were not good. But when it mattered, he came through. Every quarterback, he's held to a higher standard because he's Brock Purdy, drafted 7th. 49ers are so good.
Yeah, they're so good.
They hold him to a higher standard than they would anybody else. Josh Allen screwed up, had drives that sucked.
Yeah.
Mahomes had drives that weren't. So win games. That's it. And he is. I kind of feel bad for him because every time he plays a good quarterback, it's like Brock Purdy, 800,000.
Yeah, his salary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, $40 million.
I know.
Terrible, man. Why do they do that to me? Like, that'd be embarrassing.
I mean, and it's not even like his stats were 23 for 39 for 252 and a touchdown. Okay, that's good. But yes, it looked sloppy and people want to take shots at Purdy. But it was the weather was terrible. What's crazy about the cameras, the NFL, when they're doing that full shot of the field, you don't even see rain.
That's right.
But when they do that one shot where they're like looking at the box or in the lights,
They
and
show
it's
the lights.
pouring down.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it's raining watching the regular game.
When you see water droplets falling off their helmets, you know it's drenched.
And you can't even see the rain except they're
Yeah.
coming off their helmets. All right, what else you got?
Last one here. With the Bills getting knocked out again, is it time for them to move on from Sean McDermott?
If the Cowboys aren't moving on,
From Mike McCarthy.
the Bills should not move on. It sucks. That's his kryptonite. Patrick Mahomes, not regular season. He's got an edge over Mahomes the regular season. But playoffs, that's his kryptonite. But no, I don't think you fire McDermott. What happens too is you play more, you learn more, you have more experience. Hopefully that helps. But the Chiefs, man, you just can't. To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah,
and
you've been
nobody's
saying
beat
that.
the man. And maybe the Ravens will. But even now, I'd take the Chiefs. I have both of them. Those are my 2 teams I have left. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with that. Like, do I want to cash one out and pray for the other one? Do I just hold them both?
Yeah, to me, it's like, which one's worth more money, right? Like,
Well, I have like 6 Chief bets
oh, okay.
because when they were struggling, I just kept putting more and more money on them, but nothing crazy, like $100 a time or something.
But if the Chiefs win, you'll make more.
I'm about to find out.
Okay.
Because I haven't even looked. I didn't want to look and jinx it, even though they weren't playing, so there really was no way to jinx it. All right, Face ID. Oh, what's my password? Hold on.
No, don't say it out loud. You're on a mic.
Yeah. Hold on. Thank you. Please hold 1 second as
I'll talk to Kevin over here. Did you know
Yep.
they had 2 different gloves for rain and not and like?
What?
Yeah. Like
They have different golf gloves too for rain. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. They do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently, you know how like the receiving gloves are all glossy, kind of
Yeah.
like mine.
Yeah.
Like sticky or whatever. But when it rains, they're softer, almost like soft leather.
So like when quarterbacks are wearing gloves during the game, it's those ones, not the
Yeah.
receiver ones.
Yeah.
Totally different ones.
Correct. I didn't know that, man.
Dang.
Okay, here we go.
I didn't know that
Oh, you
either.
didn't wear gloves in college. That's probably why you don't know.
No, high school.
Oh, high school.
Yeah, couldn't wear gloves. Offense.
Because the coach or because
Yeah, our coaches would not let the offensive players wear gloves.
Doesn't make any
what
sense.
about the helmets? Did they just have hard helmets or are you wearing leather?
No, leather. Just the one bar though.
Yeah.
One bar.
All right, Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs is not really that much. They expect them to lose. So I'll just read you what I have. $50 on Kansas City, to win $450, but the cash out's $71 on this one.
Okay.
Here's 50 on Kansas City, cash out 71. Here's Kansas City, wager 200, cash out 255. Here's
What's to win though on those?
1,600.
Oh man.
And the other one was
450, and then what was the other one?
yeah. Oh, you want that too?
Yeah, I'm just kind of adding it up.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs, $50 to win 450, $200 to win 1,600,
Okay.
$100 to win 800,
Okay. Those 3 bets.
500 to win 2,625.
See, there's more. Keep them coming.
That cash out is not even up to full because that cash out is, I bet 500 and the cash out's 450, and they're down to 4 teams.
Oh, wow.
They don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to do it.
No.
Have they not heard to be the man? You got to beat the man.
Obviously not.
Come on, listen to whistles.
And then
Oh, there's one more.
Baltimore. No.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore. So I put 250 on Baltimore to win $3,750, but the cash out for that is $1,036.
Oof.
You only have one bet on that. Okay.
It sounds like I have more money invested in the Chiefs.
Well, maybe
after all those little bets.
Maybe not.
Well, with the winnings, if I win,
Yeah.
Okay, what's that at?
significant.
Wow, you have for Baltimore, you could win $5,750.
No, I can't.
Wait, is that not right? What is it? How much?
250 to win 2,000 something?
I can't read my handwriting.
37.50.
Oh, 37. Okay,
So for Baltimore, I got 37.50.
37.50, and for the Chiefs, the potential win is 5,475. So, if you're asking me, as your best friend here,
Cash out Baltimore and pray for the Chiefs.
correct. That's what I would do.
I do think.
But if you're asking me, you let them ride.
that means I'm
No
going to lose
risk.
one of them.
I know. Yeah, you got to. But it's not my
And
money.
also, I might lose both of them
Right.
if they end up losing in the NFC.
So you don't want that. Yeah. Let's get some money back. Let's get some insurance back.
I mean, you'll make. If you cash out Baltimore right now, it's like
What?
a little over $1,000.
1,300.
Is that what it said?
So yeah, you'll make a little over $1,000. That's pretty dang good.
I think you'll feel better about yourself with a little bit of smiles in your pocket.
And then I can just root for Kansas City.
And you
Yeah.
can put that money into Kansas City.
Oh boy. He's like, go to the casino, play craps.
The easiest game ever.
And you get a shirt made.
Jimmy, do it.
What? The cash out?
Baltimore and just root for Kansas City.
That's my vote. Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Cash out. Confirm.
And then let's go Chiefs, baby.
Got it.
Oh,
Dang.
oh, Arrowhead, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, but they're not playing
it's in
Arrowhead. They're
Baltimore.
Oh,
playing
whatever.
Baltimore.
Hey, I'm rooting for the Chiefs anyway, though.
Thank you. Me too now.
I am.
Me too.
Although,
Okay.
although the Lions.
You guys
would be-
won't get that out of me.
Lions would be cool, though.
Lines would be cool. Yeah, lines would be cool. Okay. That's Tittle Tattle. Thank you. There it is.
The stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app. Use the code BobbySports. Get in on the action. We're rolling with these parlays.
We got one.
We're on a streak.
We are on a streak.
Can't be stopped.
We got the Ravens money line, win. 49ers money line, win. And you guys laughed at me when I said Chiefs money line.
Yeah.
You snickered, and I said no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
said
did.
to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Oh, man.
Chiefs money line, win.
Amazing.
So good.
Did you bet your own parlay?
Yeah, no,
No.
I don't do that. I'm not stupid. Have you seen how many I've lost? I'll bet next
Yeah,
week.
man.
But I lost like 7. It's to the point now where I'm making bets, and I'm like, I just should bet the opposite of what I feel
Yeah.
because I've just missed.
That's never a good
I
feeling.
hate it. I'm not betting really. I just cashed out, so I got an extra $1,000 to spend, I guess.
Okay.
Burning a hole in my pocket.
Yep.
If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook because we plan to finish out the season strong.
Oh, real
Yeah.
strong.
New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. I had to watch a bit of the Buffalo Kansas City game on my phone from far away. I watched every game.
Was your TV out? What's up?
No, we had friends that came over.
What?
I know. Kind of last minute.
Your wife invited friends?
It's our friend. It's my friend too.
You invited your friend?
No. But my friend was like, hey, do you guys want... My friend and he had his girlfriend. He's like, do you want to do something on... Because we were going to do something the night before, but the ice got us.
Okay.
He's like, let's just do it the next day. He goes, how about dinner? My wife's like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
The problem is I can't go, no. Because if it were Arkansas, I could definitely raise a flag because I do way too much. And so I had dinner, and we have a shuffleboard table at our house, but I kept the phone. So I watched it, but it was tiny.
Is your friend a football fan or not really?
Not really.
It's tough, man.
Thank you. It's like someone died.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I did
I'm
watch.
sorry
I
that
did
happened
see
to
all.
you.
I did see it. For
Yeah,
the
but
most part.
tiny
Yeah, it's
little
micro
screen.
machines for sure. So
Did you have the volume up?
no, I had to like hide the fact that I was even watching it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Dude, Tony Romo was pure Tony Romo that night.
Why?
He's just like a kid. It's so funny.
Are you getting annoyed with Tony
Anything?
Romo?
And I go through my ebbs and flows with him.
You do?
I really do.
Eddie, but you're a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Because
Of course.
sometimes I'm just like, Tony, you don't need to talk right now. It's okay not to say anything, but he just can't help
that's
it.
his job.
No, but it's useless sometimes.
I
He
mean,
says nothing.
he's starting
He's
to
just
get-
talking to talk, and I'm just like, what is this? Where is this going? And Jim's just like, yeah, Tony.
Yeah,
You think he
that's
gets celebrated so much, or he got celebrated so much early
Yes.
that he feels now that he has to constantly do that, even if he doesn't have that?
He doesn't call as many plays anymore, though.
true. Because he was getting them wrong.
Yeah, I will say that. But he still talks when
That's
it's
why,
just
that's why I like not to do parlays. For the same reason. I had to stop doing that a long time ago.
the best is, I don't know, Jim.
He does say that. I don't know, Jim.
The cost of a suite at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
If you'd
let's
like to get you one. Yeah. If you just want a seat, $50,000.
Like at the very top? Or this is
50
probably...
yard line.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, a
it
good
won't be at
seat.
the very bottom, but like a medium 50-yard line seat. Then there are suites. Regular season, you can get a suite around $20,000 because a suite has like 20 or so tickets. There's food involved. It's like luxury. If you want to get one for the Super Bowl, it's about $600,000. It's got all 26 seats. That's just 4 seats, by the way.
Chicken fingers?
That's just 4 seats in a suite. It's not even the whole suite.
Oh, my goodness. Not the 20...
So you get the food, you get chicken fingers,
You get the... Okay.
but you want 4 seats in a suite, $600,000.
That's
If you want the whole
ridiculous.
26 seats, it's $2.6 million.
What on earth? Who has that money?
Lad Bible.
Somebody.
Somebody does because it's gonna get paid.
God.
The NFL's considering changing one of the worst rules in sports, which is the fumble into the end zone.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's so
Yeah.
stupid. You work all the way to get down there, and then you accidentally fumble, and it goes in the end zone, and it's a turnover? Makes no sense.
So what do you do?
Put it back.
Put it at the one. Put it at the one.
No.
No, I'd put it back. You gotta have some sort of punishment.
Yeah.
I'd put it back at the original line of scrimmage of that play.
Oh, dude, that would hurt too.
You don't lose the ball though.
Yeah.
I do the 15.
Okay, I like 15. I was
Yeah.
going to say that because
Well,
it's a
then
little
you should
penalty.
just be uniform and either do the 2-point conversion line or the 20 or the 25. 15's weird. It's like a random.
the random yard line.
Because nothing else is on the 15. Let's make this rule about the 15.
Okay, that makes
You know?
sense.
It's just such a bad luck that it rolls into the end zone. It's not even like, a skillful play. It's
Yeah.
it just happens to roll in the end zone.
Yeah.
I would say back at the line of scrimmage because most of those plays where that happens, it's not a 90-yard run and a fumble. Occasionally it is,
Yeah.
but at least you don't lose the ball.
The Cowboys one was like a 40-yard pass.
But at least you don't lose. Again, you still have possession. It's just the next down. But yeah, it's a terrible rule. That rule and also how players don't get assists if they throw a guy and he gets fouled. You should get an assist if he makes free throws.
Totally. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because you set him up. Nobody can help the guy punch him in the face.
He has to make at least one.
I think he needs to make all to
Okay.
get the assist. If it's 1 or 2, but if it's just 1, he's already made the 2, so he already got the assist. So yeah, he needs to make both shots.
Okay. Or 3.
Oh yeah, all 3.
Yeah.
There's got to be a little bit.
Yeah. Working.
Yeah. So yeah.
I would love to see this conversation in like the real boardroom of like all the rule
Me
makers.
too. I'd like to be having it.
Oh, because they would be like, yeah, 15-yard line. Oh, why? I don't know.
Because there's nothing else
Why
on the
not?
15.
That number looks fun to write.
They're like, get this guy out of here.
So my wife got my hat.
Dude, that's awesome.
Too much access hat.
cool.
Yeah.
So this is. It's not poly. What's this called?
Oh, is that like a trucker hat?
No.
Well, let me touch
this
it.
fabric.
I don't know,
No,
bro.
hold on. Sit your butt down. Quit touching me.
I mean, I can't see it from here.
It's not polyester. It's
Cotton.
no. People's pants are made of this stuff. I
Denim?
have pants that are made
Denim.
of this. No.
I-
It's
Is it what I was wearing? Is it corduroy?
corduroy?
I was wearing
You
that
wear
yesterday.
corduroy pants?
I have
No, I was
corduroy
wearing
pants.
a corduroy hat yesterday.
So it's corduroy,
Oh, really?
and then it says too much access, and they have a foam thing. My wife designed them.
That's
cool, huh?
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
What's the foam finger? Just a generic one?
You know, because we do.
Hey!
I knew you wouldn't leave us out.
We do them in our video. That's what we have a phone.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's there, because on the design of our logo, we have a phone finger.
Wow.
Yeah.
You tricked us.
I have hats for all four of you
Dude,
guys.
we all asked him about it.
If you, all four of you, Kevin came out, was like, hey man, nice hat. And I was like, what? Well, I was going to say, have you one? I was like, leave me alone. And then Eddie's like, hey man, where'd you get the hat?
Yeah, and then now I know why you didn't want me to touch it. I'm about to touch my own hat.
Yes. So I have 4, courtesy of my wife.
Go. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Reed, will you get them and take them over to
Yeah,
them?
absolutely.
And tell your wife thank you for us, too. That's really cool.
Reed, maybe you get Must to sign it.
Oh, boy.
We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Where Reed like pulls a hat out after the interview.
I'm surprised he didn't ask
Hey, man.
Bruce Pearl for an autograph.
Did you, Reed?
No.
Hey,
He'll never
take
live that
one,
down.
pass it down.
Hey, these high quality hats.
So do we all wear these when we go on our visit?
You know, I don't know about that yet.
It is corduroy.
Oh yeah, they're
wow.
nice.
These are clean.
Here, Mike, I'm coming.
They look warm, Bones.
My head's never been warmer, actually. Winter doesn't stand a chance with these too much access hats.
Wow.
So,
I love it. I'm going to wear this all the time.
so Saylor Poffenbarger, which by the way, she was a top 30 recruit, went to UConn, transferred to Arkansas. She had like 23 rebounds in a game.
Amazing.
It's crazy. Right before we went. And so, but this is us talking to her. She's averaging a double-double, 10 points, 12 rebounds a game. You can follow her at Saylor.pff. And so her brother, by the way, just transferred to Miami, play quarterback.
Oh, really?
That's cool. Dang, athletic family, huh?
And her
yeah.
dad makes liquor.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's
bourbon,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
She's taller than us,
Yes.
right? Or right tall as we are,
Yeah.
or tall as I am, Eddie.
Well,
Eddie's-
what are you, like
talking about-
6'2.5", right? Is that what we were saying?
It keeps
That's what we're
growing.
going with now?
It definitely keeps growing. So here she is, Saylor Poffenbarger.
I have to start by addressing you're wearing a boot. So, but you're not broken, right? I just watched you play.
Not broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you wearing it for fun?
Oh, sympathy. Because when I
it's
was in like
sympathy
5th grade,
pains.
when people would have crutches, they would come in. I'd be like, I wish I could have crutches. But because I wanted the sympathy. Is that it?
Actually, the boot keeps me on the court, so without the boot, I wouldn't be playing.
What do you mean? Why? What's the boot for?
I have stress reactions in my shin, so basically, anytime I'm not doing anything basketball related, I'm in a boot. But when
Really?
I'm at practice, I can play.
And what is that based from? Like a lot of basketball through your whole life?
It's not recovering the right way, not eating the right way.
That's on you.
We
Yeah.
felt that though.
It's on you.
It's on me.
It's our life, living our life.
And playing a lot of basketball.
Yeah, we felt that. So I watched the game. You guys played Florida State, and I watched a lot of your games. But that game, you go down into Tallahassee, and I'm noticing that you're getting a lot of rebounds. The game had finished. You guys had won. It was a big win over a top 15 team. And so I text coach, and I was like, God, you guys are awesome. Say, look at a bunch of rebounds. It was really cool. And then the graphic pops up, and it said 23 rebounds
Amazing.
in the game. 23 in the game.
Crazy.
Is that the record here?
Yes, the record was 22, and it was like from 84, 94.
So
one of
basically
them.
like
Yeah.
1872. Yes, the candlelight instead of electricity. But you had a game where you had over 20 rebounds earlier, though, and you were so close to the record. Were you shooting for 23? Were you keeping up with it in your head?
I feel like when I start the games, I don't think about it, but it's like gets to the point where my teammates are always like, oh my God, or it's more our media lady. She's like, you're this amount away. Like at halftime, she was like, you're 12 away. So I was like, okay, I have to do it. If I got 12 in the first half, I can get 12 in the second half.
Yes.
So yeah.
And what do you credit all the rebounds to? Just being a dog, or like form technical? Like what is it?
Last year I got rebounds. Like I have the most rebounds in a season. But then like this year, I cut my weight a lot. Like my body changed a lot, and so I'm way more in shape. I think it's more like reading the ball. Like when the ball hits the rim, I can like read it where it's gonna go. So I don't know. I think it looks like that falls to me a lot, but like sometimes it's like knowing that if someone shoots from like one side, it's gonna go weak side. So it's like I'm more so in good position.
So if I were shooting, you would stand under the rim. It's gonna be an air ball, obviously. Sure. So you're just gonna
I
catch it
just
from
saw
the,
you switch one.
Yeah, that was it's camera tricks.
That was the first
Yeah, we have cameras, and we do tricks with cameras and stuff here. So with you playing basketball, being such a high level recruit, what is it like to be? Because you were originally going to UConn, which is, I mean, that program is legendary for winning a ton of basketball championships. And when they recruit you, you're pretty freaking good. And before you decided to come to Arkansas, what's it like being a star recruit? I mean, are people coming to your games all the time, just scouting you?
Yeah, I think it's my favorite part about it is like the young kids that come watch. I think that even when I was in high school, like I would have little girls come up to me, whether they were like in my jersey or like in the school I was or the UConn. And I think that it was like, that was me. So I feel like that's the best part about it, is like knowing my work is being paid off, and like there has to continue to be players to look up to. And as I had players to look up to, the younger girls need to. So that's definitely my favorite part of like being a good athlete, is just seeing the young kids, like the excitement, even after Arkansas games. Like we have signature Sundays, and like it makes their whole world to like come up to us. And I don't know, I just think that that's definitely my favorite part.
Who was your hero, your sports hero growing up?
Maya Moore, she was my favorite.
Have you got to meet her?
No. She like kind of took a turn from basketball, so she's in Justice now.
But I mean, can you not message her and be like, I'm a star? Stars talk.
Yeah, I need to reach out to her, honestly. I've met so many cool people
Well,
that
this is cool. Maya, come in. I'm just kidding. She's not here. I'm just kidding.
I would literally die.
Why'd you do that?
That's funny to me. Maybe nobody else. That was funny to me. That's funny to me. Sorry, Saylor. Yeah.
Wait, you say that you met a lot of cool people. Like, who are the cool people?
I mean, I'm sitting next to him right now.
No, you're not. This is not cool. This
Yes,
is
I
absolutely
remember it
not
was
cool.
the coolest thing ever when you guys like contacted me at first, the sweatshirt. I was
Yeah.
like, no way.
No, yeah, I feel, honest talk, because I was like, I really want to get, and I talked to Coach, and I was like, hey, I think Saylor would be awesome, because I obviously knew where you come from, how good of a ball player you were. And then you got there, and I was like, man, Saylor is just not, she's such a stud athlete. She thinks I'm stupid and we're stupid. That's what we felt like.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Remember when you said you're stupid to me, though? That's why I thought that.
Wait,
No,
why?
you didn't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I did
No, I'm just
not.
kidding. I'm just kidding. So Saylor did we do a charity hoodie, and Saylor did that with us. So I know Saylor from last year, but here we are, sophomore year. Do you feel like you're matured any as a player? Do you feel smarter on the court a year into being full-time player?
Yes, I think just like last year, okay, so I have a unique situation. I'm a sophomore on the court, but I'm about to graduate next year. So I'm like kind of in my junior year. I went to school early at UConn. So I feel like I've been in college for so many years, but I've only been on the court this is my second year. So I think it's just like now catching up to like what I felt my experience is and then like what my actual experience is. But this year it's like kind of all come together because I'm also needing to be a leader. So I think that last year was nice because we had the upperclassmen that I could focus on like on the court, whatever, where now I kind of got welcomed into a leadership role. And I think that without last year, I would not be prepared. So I feel way more mature and way more equipped for it.
Do you guys in the off season ever go train with like any of the other college kids or even pro athletes? Do you ever get time to do that?
Yes, I train. So we just played UCLA, and one of my best friends is on the team, Kiki Rice, and I go train with her all summer long. So this past summer, I went home for like a month and a half, and I trained with Alex, who played in the NBA and like did a whole bunch of stuff. And I got to go to Miami, and like I've just got to meet a lot of people through training.
Alex who?
Alex McLean.
Okay, got
He
it.
played.
Well, you said Alex. I didn't know Alex.
Yeah, sorry.
And I was just going to be cool and be like, Alex, yeah, how about that?
Alex Caruso.
I hadn't seen Alex
No.
forever. Alex P. Keaton. Yeah, go ahead.
But so like this summer I got to go and meet a bunch of different people, and like basketball is just it's such a small world. Like you go and then you get on a team and it's like next thing you know, oh, we're playing UCLA in a double, and I'm playing my best friend. I played USA with her. I played AAU with her. So it's like a small world. But yeah, I've got to train with some cool people.
The player for UCLA, I think she's 6'9". I don't think she's listed as 6'9", but she's got to be 6'9".
She's really big. She was also my teammate.
How do you rebound against someone that is that much bigger than you?
You don't.
You don't. Okay, there we have it, everybody.
I didn't have that many rebounds.
Keep your
last
dreams.
game.
Keep your dreams alive. So what's the ceiling with this year's team in conference?
I think we have so much talent in so many different areas that we don't have a ceiling, and I think that that's what makes us so good is that we're nowhere close to how good we can be. And I think that every game is a challenge for us, and it better equips us. The SEC is going to be challenging every night, whether you go play a team that's considered last in the SEC or first. And so I think that seeing that every game we're getting closer to our potential is almost promising, because it's like we're putting all the pieces together in the right order.
Do you feel it? Do you feel like it's starting to happen?
Yes, like the first few games, I remember leaving the game and I'm like, we barely won, and we're playing like.
Don't say anybody specific
yeah.
now. Don't do that,
And
Taylor. Yeah.
Then it's like now we go to Florida State and not one person picked us to win. We all played just how we could, like, we didn't do anything crazy. We didn't do anything different. And I think that those kind of games give you confidence. And I mean, even UCLA, like, that's the best team we've played in 2 years. And so I think that having a team like that, you know, you lose, but you learn a lot about your team, and we definitely gained a lot of confidence.
All right, that's it. We're going to play the Coach Neighbors interview after we're done with the show here because we put it on the Christmas episode because I thought it was so good. But some people may not have heard that episode, so we're going to put it. He talked about having a stroke, a heart attack at 29.
Amazing.
Really cool. He has a movie list of 1,000 movies or whatever.
Yeah. Reads a lot.
No, 1,000 movies. He categorized them.
And songs, I think.
The songs was like in the 30,000s or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that interview,
wild.
you should listen to that after we're done here. Anything you want to say, Eddie?
I just want to say I love you guys.
Thanks, man.
And even more now because I had this hat in my head. Dude, I love this hat. Thank you so much.
Good.
Comfy, man.
Thank you.
Do we look good?
You look great, actually.
That looks good on you, Kevin.
Yeah?
I'd like to make out with all of you at the same time.
What?
Let's go. Bring it.
Yes. All right. So on Friday's show, we have Phil Yates on from ESPN, and then just get ready. Get your smiles ready because
For what?
Because I'm about to hit a parlay.
Let's go.
So many smiles.
What was that sound?
Dude,
I don't know. It felt racist. Yeah. Hey, we were somewhere. I won't say where.
no.
I won't even say where we were. I won't even say where we were. I'm not
Yes.
saying what city or state we were in. And somebody came up to Eddie and goes, "What ethnicity are you?"
And then I was kind of confused by
And
it.
I heard it, and I was like, "Is this somebody playing a joke on him?"
And I guess this person didn't think I heard them, so they said, "Are you Arabic?" I said, "No, I'm not Arabic."
It really takes some balls to ask somebody what ethnicity they are.
It's just straight up.
Just like, hey man, what you got?
And Arabic's like Aladdin, right? Like,
Yes.
so I was in Aladdin
Yes.
to her.
You were Aladdin to her.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Check out our episode of Too Much Access. That's our video show with Arkansas Razorback women's basketball team. And other than that, Eddie, you can blow the whistle.
I got you, man.
And we'll play the Coach Neighbors interview, and we'll get the HE double hockey sticks out of here. All right, go ahead. All right, see you guys.
Coach, thanks for having us today.
Welcome to the house.
Thanks. Your office you got a corner office. You got a bathroom in the office.
Yeah.
Didn't know we were dealing with that elite of status here.
I'm not sure that's what it is, but for a guy that went to school here, that view of Bud Walton
Yeah,
Arena,
that's awesome.
Every single day, man, you can't beat it.
Whenever I talk to somebody who coaches at their alma mater, I'm always genuinely curious if they think their love of the school can be soured if it doesn't go right professionally.
Yeah, scared to death that it could happen that way.
Because I'm assuming it was absolutely no doubt you're going to be the coach. You want the job, for sure.
Yeah.
But a little bit was like, man, if this sucks and I don't do well, then how do I even still love it?
Yeah, I hadn't gone away either. That
Really?
was 7 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was in a dream job, a good job at Washington, but when the opportunity came, like you said, it was home. It was what I dreamed of. I wanted to be a Razorback player, and I was never good enough at anything. But coaching was the opportunity, and I think about it every single day I wake up. And, you know, the other part for me is I'm a fan of our other 18 sports, just like every other fan in Arkansas. And then I'm also colleagues in one sport. So, but no, it was a great fear. I talked it over with all of my family, especially my close family. Like, you understand that there has never in the history been a basketball coach retire from the University of Arkansas. And they were like, well, what do you mean? I said, they've all been told.
Right.
That's me. It could be me. And most likely probably will be. Are we good with that? And we all said, yeah. I said, if I get to be the coach here for one day, it will have been worth it.
I mean, that'd be the coolest thing, getting hired and getting walked into your office and this is now your program at your school.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I stood right there and looked at that view, and it just washed over me. I mean, it hit me because I'd said it from a very young age, I wanted to be a Razorback, and I was not good enough at any sport. But then it became, I want to be a Razorback coach, and when it came, it hit me. I stood right there and cried by myself because of the overwhelming, how many people helped me get here, how lucky I know for everything to line up like it was. So I don't spend one single day taking for granted how important it is, how valuable it was. But also I try to hit the ground running every day so I get to be here as long as I possibly can.
So when you say you went to school here, but you weren't good enough to play for the Razorbacks, did you play a lot of like ball in the rec? Like,
I did.
were you a gym rat?
hyper.
Did you dominate that?
Yeah, I tried out for baseball, but Coach DeBryan cut me. It was the best thing ever happened to me. I played a little baseball at West Ark and came up here and I thought I had a pretty good day. I've told the story, Coach DeBryan in the room many times, but he came walking across the diamond there, and I thought, I'm getting ready to be a Razorback. I hit it good in the cage, and I'd picked it pretty good in the field. And he walked up and he put his arm around me and said, "Neighbors, you're a good boy." He said, Coach Crowder was right. That was my junior college coach. Coach Crowder was right. He said, you really understand the game. You know when to be and where to be. You just can't quite do it. He said, "You ever thought about coaching?" And I said, "Yeah, as soon as my playing days are over, I'm going to go right into coaching." And he kind of patted me on the butt and he goes, "That's today."
That's coincidentally.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Did you think at all about trying to play ball somewhere else when you got cut here?
No. It was Razorbacks or nothing for me. I had some small college offers to play basketball. I was better at basketball. I was probably a little better at baseball. Basketball was my love. Maybe I thought about it, but it wasn't going to be the same. If it couldn't be Razorbacks for me, it wasn't going to be anything.
Who were the guys that for you? Because for me, it was Oliver Miller, Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, like my young years, super instrumental in me being a Razorback diehard fan. Like when I say that to you, who are those guys?
The other triplets, Marvin Delph, Ron Brewer, Sidney Moncrief, and really that whole team. So like if you come in my Razorback room in my house, I've got all those guys' jerseys, I've got balls, I've got sweatbands I've collected over the years. Those were the people that I've stayed up late to watch the replays of, the tape delays before we had VHS and all those different things. So those were my guys on the basketball, but Ben Cowens in football, that Orange Bowl team, Roland Sales, Ron Calcagney, Dan Hampton, Kevin McReynolds in baseball. Those were more when I was starting to get older and wanting to be here. But I've idolized a number of coaches and players, and now every sport.
When you started, Coach, did you ever feel, because I was talking about this with my wife, like, I always say I can do it, but deep inside I'm like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
When you first started, did you kind of feel like,
every day
I can do this?
Every day. My first job was a swim coach at Bentonville High School. I missed the meeting early in the summer because I didn't have an email account set up yet. And they had sent out emails for all these coaches to come to this meeting. Well, I didn't know about it. Well, they made me the swim coach. Well, first
Did you
of all,
have any experience?
I can't swim.
Okay.
So not only did I not have any experience as a swim coach, I didn't have the ability to even jump in the water and do
show
anything.
them, yes, yeah.
But fortunately at Bentonville, they had a person hired through Walmart who did all the instructing, and I just needed to be the school liaison to show up. And so they said, "Hey, you be there at 4:30 and it's year round." I'm like going, "Well, I can't do it at 4:30. I got basketball practice at 3:30." And they said, "No, the other 4:30. The AM
my
window."
gosh, that's
because
like
that's
our
when
hours.
swimmers swim.
Ugh.
So I was at the swim auditorium, and my first swim meet I ever saw, I actually coached. So every day, and still to this day, I always worry I'm doing it wrong. I'm always worried. We were talking about imposter syndrome before we were on here. I certainly have had that a number of times. And, when I first got to be a head coach, one of my first coaching jobs was I was coaching against Tara Vandiver, who's won over 1,000 games, and I'm going game one, So I still have that. I hope that's normal. I don't know that it is, but for me, my greatest fear is always that I'm not doing it right, or maybe I can't, but I try not to let that show. I try to put on a confident smile and do the best I can, but it's a scary profession, but it's fun.
Were you a decent swim coach, even though?
I was an unbelievable swim coach.
Let's go.
Hey, we
Yes.
won. I got a state championship ring. Right
No
here.
way.
Yeah, I did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I got it sitting right over here someplace. Yeah,
So-
right here it is, right there.
And what do you credit that to?
The unbelievable swimmers that were at that school at that particular time. And me not messing them up.
But still, but that there's a skill to not messing something good up.
Yeah.
Just as much as there is making something good that maybe isn't as good as possibly could be.
Sure.
You didn't mess it up.
No, what I did, I went in and, it was kind of an Olympic sport. It wasn't one that got a lot of newspaper coverage, but I'd been coaching basketball. So I called my newspaper writers and I said, "Hey, have you not followed this swim team? They're amazing. We'd won state championships, and this kid's going to be in the Junior Olympics." So I got him publicity, and I brought it kind of to be, I went out, here's what I did at the school too. I went and I bought the coolest sweatsuit that anybody had on campus, and I gave to our swimmers. And every other sport wanted them, but they couldn't have them because swim team had them. And we made swimming kind of cool. It's kind of a cool deal.
So when did you get to stop coaching swim? When did you retire as a champion swim coach?
I'm not sure it was a retirement. I think it was they found somebody that drove the bus better than I did.
Yeah.
It was when I got to be the head coach of another team. That was kind of, it was very time consuming. It really was 4:30 in the morning until 7 in the morning every day of the year. And it was $1,000 stipend. So it was not the most lucrative gig ever.
That was the whole pay for that job?
Yeah.
$1,000
$1,000 for that number of hours, that many. So when I got to be the head coach of the girls basketball team, the AD said, we need somebody that can do this a little better than you are. And I was gladly relinquished my title to somebody that actually had been to a swim meet before I had.
So whenever you're an assistant basketball coach, was your dream to be a collegiate coach, or was it to just be the best high school coach in the state?
Yeah, not initially, because having not played, I didn't know for sure how it would go. Initially, I just thought I wanted to go be the high school coach at Greenwood, Arkansas. I wanted to go back home and do that. But I had a heart attack at 29, a genetic defect in my heart. And at 29, I was the high school coach at Cabot. And when it happened, and that was when it changed me to wanting to be a college coach.
So what did you do differently? So you want to be a college coach? You go get a master's, or?
No, I just got to know Coach Blair really well. A lot of people said, you need to branch out and network and get to know a lot of coaches. But I had a really wise pawpaw one time that said, it's okay to put all your eggs in one basket as long as you watch thine basket.
Yeah.
So I just got to know Coach Blair. And I volunteered at his camps. I volunteered every chance I got. And every time he had a job opening, I said, I'll do it. I don't care what it pays. So finally, he had a job that paid $14,000. I was making $72,000 as a high school coach, and I said, I'll take it.
What was the job?
I was called Director of Basketball Operations, which is a big title. I should have been his Diet Coke guy. That was my first job, was to make sure he had Diet Coke at practice. So like I had been taught, I said, okay, Coach, do you want that in a cup? Do you want it in a can? Do you want it out of a fountain? Do you want crushed ice? Do you want Sonic ice? Do you want cubed ice? What do you want? So I did the best job I could at being that until he let me drive him around, until he let me do a little stuff, more and more and more and more. So that was my first job, glorified Diet Coke guy.
Coach, the heart attack, though, at such a young age, and you go into a career where you're just going to be yelling and stressing out the whole time. How do you manage that?
My heart rate doesn't get above 120 like they've had me on monitors. I think because of the heart attack, I have this perspective on maybe it's not as big a deal as everybody. I mean, it is stressful, don't get me wrong, but I don't stress about it. I think because I've had the heart attacks, and that it has helped me try to be as calm as I can. A lot of my players will say, I'm calm because Coach is calm. If he's calm, I can be calm. So I hope that's turned out to be a positive thing. It was a genetic thing too, so we got it under control. I'm not really worried about it happening again. My doctors have all said, I think in a nice way, it's going to be something else, that you're going to get hit by a truck, or you're going to have a plane, something. I'm like, oh, thanks. It's not going to be my heart. But that moment changed me. At 29, you realize life's that short, because he literally told me, he said, if you'd have been asleep, I think you would have died, because you might not have really known it was happening. And they call it the widowmaker valve because of that reason. So I was lucky. I've always been right time, right place guy. So obviously that one was one of those.
What was your highlight, your highest moment in high school coaching?
High school coaching?
Yeah, before you left.
I had a team, it's kind of a three-year window. I had a team that was finished 1-24, won one game. And the game we won, believe it or not, we hit a jump shot at the end of the third quarter to win it, because nobody scored in the fourth, believe it or not. That team played for the state championship 2 years later.
Most of the same crew.
Most of the same crew. We just got better and better, and we had a move in or two, don't get me wrong, but that group, that was probably the pinnacle of high school coaching for me.
And then what was your first collegiate job here with Coach Blair?
It was.
But then you have to leave again, right?
Yeah.
You have to leave because it's a job. It's a journeyman job.
It is.
But with the idea, hopefully, of coming back too?
That was the plan. Yeah, and I came back again in between. So I started with Coach Blair. I went to Tulsa. I followed that coach to Colorado. I came back to Arkansas for another time. I went to Xavier. I went to Washington, and that's where I got my first head coaching job. And then when this one came open, it was everything I could do to come back home. But yeah, you know you're going to be. I moved 5 times in 5 years. I moved 8 times. And it's one of those deals that you have to do that to at the end hopefully be able to be somewhere for a long time.
When did you realize that this was like the thing you were pretty good at?
Well, there's a picture of it over there. I was an assistant coach at Xavier. We had a young lady who missed a couple of layups to go to the Final Four. Smoked them. Wide open. And for something in me, rather than be upset about missing, I sprinted onto the court and I picked her up off the floor and I just hugged her and shielded her. And I still to this day don't know what made me do it. But I knew after looking back on it, I said, I'm supposed to be a coach. If something in my body reacted, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not, I was still an assistant. I almost quit coaching. I had tried to become a head coach. I was an assistant for 14 years. I was at Xavier at a spot where I thought I was going to get the job and I didn't. And I almost just, decided I was going to get out of coaching and come home and sell drugs and flip house, pharmaceuticals. Not drugs. Pharmaceuticals.
Hey, whatever you got to do, coach.
Pharmaceuticals.
Tough environment out there.
I was going to sell pharmaceuticals and flip houses. I really thought about it for a while. But I took that job at Washington. That ended up leading down. And so, it's one of those jobs where you have to kind of think that way.
What's the difference in that we don't understand? Okay, you're the number one assistant, but now you're the head coach. Like whenever they move you up at Washington and you're the head guy, immediately, what did you not know you were going to have to be?
Well, you've got to make the decisions instead of the suggestions. All those great suggestions I'd had as an assistant coach, and I was like, oh, he's not doing that. Why aren't they using my idea? The amount of decisions you had to make on a daily basis, and not only the amount of it, but the number of people it affected. Like today, if I want to change practice time, I've got to alert 59 people. And then they have families, and they have people they have to alert. I had never thought about that aspect of having to be the person that makes a decision that it trickles down and affects those many people. And then the other thing it's going to sound really petty, but I was at Washington the Friday before I was the assistant coach. We went out on a little excursion, and I had like a little Subaru SUV, mini SUV or whatever. Every kid's trying to pile in there with me because I was cool and had the cool music and whatever. I had like 10 people trying to get in my car. The next Friday, I was the head coach, and I had the big SUV, and we were going to go out to a dinner to celebrate, and nobody wanted to ride with me. And I was the same guy, but your job had changed.
Right.
So, that was hard on me for a while, because you're not going to be liked all the time, and their decisions are tough, and it's going to you're going to make somebody mad probably. And I struggle with that, and I'm not telling you I don't still struggle with that a little bit today, because that's hard. But the two big things were having to make all these decisions and learning that you can run out of energy to make decisions. It's why the presidents don't pick out their own clothes or where they're eating, because you can exhaust yourself of your energy of making decisions on stuff that's trivial.
The last 10 years or so, seemingly from 10,000 feet up, the recruiting has changed. It's seemingly so much more than it had in any clip of time, because again, all the rules have changed from the portal to NIL to how much adapting have you had to do? How much changing have you had to do just in your day-to-day CEOing and coaching?
A lot. You have to scrap what you did 2 years ago. It literally changes every day now. I mean, the price of recruiting, and I don't mean the dollar amount. We're not talking about NIL. I'm just saying the things you have to do to stay on that cutting edge, to be attractive to the best players in the country. I have to have people surrounding me, because I'm not the one that can keep up with what's cool and what trend, how are we going to communicate with these people. So I've got to employ an unbelievable staff of people who are up on that. And then I just have to be available. As long as I make myself available to them to do whatever they tell me to do, I can stay in the thick of it. But it's a complete 180-degree shift from what it was 2 years ago.
Final three questions. You have a lot of books in this office. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So
even your book.
Yeah, I think that was a setup, though.
It was not a
No, I'm going to tell you why I think it's a setup, Coach. Hold on.
Interesting.
I have a theory about this. You walk in, and obviously either coach is well-read or has just spent a lot of money on books. One of the two. And it could be either one. I know people that have done both.
Okay.
Not going to hate.
Every book in here has been read. Anybody that's around me can tell you the story about being behind reading. But if they're on my desk, I'm in this process of reading them. If they're in that book bag over there on the corner, they are my favorite books. If they are stacked under here, they're the ones I'm going to give anybody in this room. If y'all want a copy of Speed of Trust, I buy every copy I can find, and I hand them out to anybody that comes in here and asks me about reading. I was an awful reader at the age of 40, and I took a test online, and I read at the 8th grade reading level, and that's embarrassing. And I wanted to become a better reader, so I started reading, and I got better and better and better. I got to where I could read 900 words a minute. and with comprehension. So that's when I started pouring through every copy of everything I could ever read. For every book I read, I write at least 10 pages, and I go back, alternate it back and forth. But your book has been read since I was coming to Nashville a couple of years ago when we were going to connect. That was when I got a copy of that book. And
why don't you write a book? If you write so much,
I've had a lot of people say, and I think I will when I retire and I'm not coaching. I've got a bunch of pieces that I think we could write into a book right now. I've written probably 2,000 pages worth of stuff. I had a newsletter I shared that went out to 75,000 coaches that went out weekly. I wrote in those things. I think I could probably put it together. It's a lot of other people's thoughts that I've kind of made into my own, and some are stories about my pawpaw. That's, I think, the book that I'll publish is my pawpaw neighbor's stories, because he was such a wise man without an education. And then I don't know. I think I will write a book someday. It's just not something right now that I want to do, but I think I will in time.
Yeah, it sucks to write it. It sucks. It's
Bobby's
awesome.
written 3.
It's
so
awesome, but
you were
sucks.
saying 3 questions about the books, but yeah, everything in here has been read, and it's all coded. And you can talk to my administrative assistant down there.
It's got the Dewey Decimal System in here. You pull the cards out.
We tried that, and we had stacks everywhere. It was going to be leadership. It was going to be body language. It was going to be all these different. And then finally, I just said, forget it. Just put all the blue books together, all the red books together, all the yellow books together, because I do remember what color books are, and that's the way I remember them. Like, that's a yellow cover book, or that's a green box.
Plus, it looks cool. It just looks like
it looks
it's got
awesome.
a little better. Yeah, there's a little discrepancies around, but
I'm colorblind. It looks the same to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also like a DVD collection here, and I see, some movie pictures here.
Yeah.
You got Star Wars, Bull Durham,
Star Wars.
Correct.
Rocky. What's your favorite, let's say, sports movie, and then movie in general?
Few Good Men, number 1. You may not know this about me, but I do have my top 1,000 movies ranked in order on IMDb. You can look it up when we leave, 1 through 1,000.
What do you mean? How do we look that up?
That's
I can pull it up on its webpage.
Wait, we can find it on the internet?
Yeah, right now.
What's the domain?
IMDb.com. It's this huge
No,
internet.
I know what that site is, Coach. I'm saying, but how do we find yours?
Top Mike Neighbors.
You heard of it, Bones?
And you just went on, so you have like an account?
Here's what happened. I was in Seattle. This came up in an interview that I had my top 1,000 movies ranked, and somebody said, I don't believe you. I said, here you go. I have them typed out. They're in order. They're my favorite list. It's been well documented. It's been well thought through. Few Good Men, number 1. It's never been touched. The top 10 has moved around some.
Never been touched even by Forrest Gump?
No. Forrest Gump, I think, is 11. Wow. Maybe slid to 14. I'll check when we do this as bar bets. I'll tell people to name a movie, and I can tell you where it falls within my top 1,000 within a few. But it's ranked. And so somebody in Seattle heard about it, and IMDb reached out to me and said, "Would you please publish your list?"
Oh, that's cool.
So it's out. It's out there. I guess I am published now that I think about it.
Yeah,
sports movie
on the internet though.
Sport. We found it.
Yeah, I got it. Hunt for Red October is number 2.
Hunt for Red October.
The Silence of the Lambs number 3. Hoosiers 4.
That's my favorite sports movie.
Hoosiers. Oh, Brother, We're Out There's 5. Moneyball 6. Top Gun 7. I'm gonna do all 1,000. So you guys fast forward for a little bit.
I'll tell you what 1,000 is. Mamma Mia.
Zero
which
Dark
Top Gun was that?
38. Huh?
Original Top Gun?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen the other one.
Yeah.
The new one. You seen the new one?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. Is it
It's
good? Purple
good.
Rain 10. That's good.
Love
Shawshank 11. Ooh, kind of low.
Ooh,
for-
11.
Yeah. Shawshank and Forrest
Make
Gump
your
though.
list.
Same year. Shawshank and Forrest Gump up same year.
What is Forrest Gump?
12.
Oh, so what happened was Moneyball moved up, so that one moved down 1.
And I think you're referring to, Forrest Gump knocking Shawshank out, or was it the opposite?
Well, those two plus what's the Royale with cheese?
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
They're all
yeah.
same year. All the same
all,
year.
all
it's a
best
great year
pictures
for movies.
All
Yeah,
best
same
pictures,
year.
and I think I don't know which one.
All
it was.
great. But this is my list.
Yeah.
It's not the best movies of all time. My criteria was this: if one was on TBS and one was on TNT, what am I watching? And Few Good Men is that movie for me. I will watch
Hitch.
it start to
It's always
finish.
Hitch for me.
Hitch is 30. It's in the 30s.
Is it really?
Keep going. You're going to get to it pretty quick. I love Hitch.
Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. There.
Field of Dreams is pretty high. It's pretty high. And so, like, I have these arguments, people, and everybody goes, "Oh, that's too low." And I'm saying, "Well, make your list."
Yeah.
That's
Because
my list.
you'll be surprised how quick you get to 80.
Yeah.
Like, there's good movies in the hundreds on this list. And I still, now this is not the most updated. I have a working, living document that every time I watch a movie, I put it into the ranking.
What's the last movie that you watched that made the list?
Last movie I watched to be into the list? What was the last? It was the Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That made the top 1,000 list?
Well, no, because I don't want to seem really weird, but it's over 3,700 now.
Oh wow.
That's just
Are you? So I take medicine for my OCD being a little out of control sometimes. Are you OCD?
probably, but it's not medicated.
Okay, maybe you should. Is my point. I have some.
Can we try? I mean,
Yeah.
Is this one of those ones that I could try and it wouldn't?
It wouldn't affect you at all.
Part of the deal is I don't sleep a lot. I never did, even prior to having a young family and all that. But
And I wonder why you have a heart attack, Coach.
I don't know. But that was before.
That's genetic.
That was way before. Postdoc ergo propter hoc. That's
He's like, I haven't blinked in 3 months and I never sleep, but I can't figure out how my heart's breaking down. A couple more of these movies. I'm only at one. Like, I'm in the hundreds.
Well, come on,
but
man.
111 is a Gladiator.
Oh, that's a great
Which
movie.
is
That's a great
awesome.
movie. But be surprised how quick. Now, I also have my top 57,000 songs ranked in order.
Wow.
And,
hold
and on the playlist.
What's number one?
Well, go to billboard.com. They're all up there that he's published.
I'm not on that one, but that's what I did during COVID. Was I made a music list and a playlist of all those songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And number one is
Sweet Child of Mine.
Let's go.
I know.
Let's go, baby.
I get ridiculed for it an awful lot.
What's wrong with Sweet Child of Mine?
It was my favorite song. I'm not saying it's the best song of all time.
And it's not. You're right. And it's not by any means. It's not the best song. But
it's not even their best song.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I'd have gone like November Rain.
It's fine.
Guns, but you're
Make
right.
your list.
It's definitely. I do have a list.
Bring me your top 57,000.
No, I don't. I'll pass out. I have a heart attack before I get to 57,000.
Get to 100.
But I got I've done like top 25. Like I know my top 5, which is like Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain,
Right.
Stop This Train, John Mayer, Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers. Like I can probably get to 20. Matt Stell.
Pray for you.
What's that one that goes, anytime I pray for you?
Yeah, pray for you. That's number 4.
No, it's 5,719.
Check it.
Yeah, I just know where that
Check it
one
right
is.
now. Check it right now.
Okay, well, how about that? Have you seen? Okay, one. I haven't read the book that you pass out, and I like to read. What is that book? The Sound of Time.
Speed of Trust.
Okay. Have you ever? Do you have a bunch of copies in here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you.
Okay, I'm gonna take one. Have you ever seen Man on the Moon?
Man on the Moon?
Yeah,
No.
about Andy Kaufman.
Oh no.
Okay.
Love to see it.
So
is it a movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman died before I knew. Oh, I read Shift Your Mind. That's a really good one.
It's really good. He's a great guy.
Who?
The author.
Oh,
Levinson,
really?
Brian Levinson.
Do you know who I was hanging out with on Zoom the other day? Was Malcolm Gladwell.
No kidding.
We're doing a project together.
I can't
saw
wait to read it.
I saw a bunch.
I've got them all over there.
Yeah, he was.
Well, how cool are you guys?
He's super interesting.
He all of his books are one that I pass and share out.
Yeah.
Every single one of them that he has.
Yeah, I geeked out, and I
bet you
we
would.
both get to be around cool people all the time. But there's some people, and for me, it's always like old school Razorbacks and authors. And I'm always like, man, you're like Malcolm Gladwell. I just like stare at him.
Yeah, the mind of the people like Gladwell that write like that, and the Freakonomics people that blow me away. That the way they think. Yuval Noah Harari, a new writer that's out that wrote *Sapiens*.
I read *Sapiens*. It took me a while because that book is huge. What was crazy to me about *Sapiens*? We'll geek out with each other for a second.
Yeah.
*Sapiens*. What was crazy was when they talked about the humans that would survive. They're the first ones that could stand because they could see.
That's right.
Because they were on all fours.
That's right.
And we were all on all fours. But the ones that really thrived were the ones that could stand on two because they lifted higher and had higher vision.
Farther on the horizon.
Crazy.
And it's why when you hear something rustle in the woods, if you better assume it's a lion and not the wind. We still have those tendencies.
Our brain goes to war. too.
A lion in Arkansas?
Yeah, man, they're everywhere. Lions are everywhere.
You got them out in the wild. Be
Wake
careful.
up, Eddie.
Be careful when you go outside.
So I'm gonna read that book, and then you watch.
I'll watch Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon because it's
I like Andy Kaufman.
True story. Oh, and you know who Andy Kaufman is?
Oh, I remember when Jerry Lawler slapped him on the.
Dude.
Yes.
I mean, it was. I
guy.
know exactly who he is, and I'm sitting here wondering to myself, how did I miss that movie? Because
You were making a list of your top 70 million serials.
And Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Jim Carrey plays him.
Does Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it's awesome.
I bet it is phenomenal. I'm shocked I have missed
like
it.
Letterman's my hero, but Andy Kaufman, I never got to see him
In his prime.
or ever. I mean, he died
really?
in early 80s.
Yeah.
And so, or like 81. So I never, but the things that he would do that weren't even supposed to be funny, that were just, let's see what everybody's reaction is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read that book. You watch my movie.
And we'll compare
check
notes.
back in.
I can't wait.
Okay. One final.
You guys want to give me an assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Watch
we're gonna
anything?
take
You want me to read the
a nap.
Serpent? I can read the Serpentine.
We're going to have you go through my top 57,000 song list and check for duplicates.
That I can do. I'll do
That's
that.
funny. All right, final question, Coach.
Okay.
The very first game you coached as the head coach here at your alma mater, the school that you love.
Yeah.
When you walk out the first time.
Yeah.
Let's say the first home game.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if your first game was a home game or not.
It was not, but I remember the first home game very well.
Talk to me about that.
Just the whole day was so, people will say numbing, people will say, but that's the best way I could describe it. It was just floating on air. It was everything was in slow motion. First time I heard my name announced over the loudspeaker, the hog call for the first spontaneous time. It hit different than when I was fan. Growing up, the boy that my granddad was taking to all the games, and it just hit completely different. And even as an assistant coach, I had been here twice as an assistant coach, and I'd heard the fight song. I had heard all that. But when it's your team, and I know it may sound corny, it still feels the same today. It has not gotten old. It has not been. And I think that is the difference. When you talk about people who coach at their alma mater, that's what you get. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be any more successful than somebody that wasn't born in this zip code. But I do care about it, a deeper understanding and appreciation, I think. And I hope that comes out to our kids and the way I protect them, and then the way I support the other coaches on our campus during their times. Because, like I said, I'm first and foremost a Razorback fan of all 18 sports, and then try to do the best to make fans out of the sport that I get to coach.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm going to look at this list. Number 3,912. Freddie got fingered with Tom Green. What the?
Interesting.
I've never seen that one. Yeah.
Check that one out.